Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today I come to you with a rather confusing leak. So what we have here is the Horns of Hashut, something that leaked yesterday by name only regarding the whole thing with the new Slaves to Darkness book for Age of Sigmar. Now, something which is very confusing is obviously the fact that the Horns of Hashut seem to be human, but we'll talk about the model in a little bit. Chaos Dwarfs have been hinted through Age of Sigmar for a long time now, and they've been getting hinted a lot more, especially because, you know, we've started seeing some hobgoblins, and now it looks like we've got our first Chaos Dwarf unit, but it's not really a Chaos Dwarf unit. You see, this is the Horns of Hashut warband that is likely going to appear, or get announced, better yet said, in Warhammer Fest later next week. It looks like this warband is going to have 3 different new models. So we're going to have a Ruinator Alpha, a Ruinator, a Demolisher with Flame Hurler, and, you know, that's pretty cool. I guess we're going to start getting some interesting stuff. Now, yes, it looks like a human, and it very much looks like a human. It looks a bit too slender, it looks a bit too tall. Something odd is happening, and I imagine that this is just a way for them just to start hinting towards everything, because if we look at the lore tidbit there, it already gives a little bit of a hint. The Horns of Hashut are bringers of ruin and desolation, heralds sent forth by the Father of Darkness to claim territories in advance of his marching legions. Each region they conquer is pulverized, rendered empty and barren, so what I think is that Hashut is likely sending some human cultists into the fray just to bring in their influence, and then the Chaos Dwarfs march, because we know the Chaos Dwarfs are canon. They've been mentioned so many times and name-dropped many times that it's something that I imagine makes a lot of sense. Well, really, they just send Chaos Dwarfs and that was up to me, but Games Workshop is Games Workshop. Now, we do need to talk about it visually, because yes, while it is a human, we do need to talk about it. It looks like they're taking influence from artwork from way back in the day, also the official army book, which I believe was, what, 4th edition, and a little bit of Forge World stuff. So I imagine that this is going to be more or less the design that we're going to see for Chaos Dwarfs in the future. I've had this theory that what they're going to do is very similar to that of 30k, which they're getting the old stuff, which was resin, and updating the look a little bit and turning it into plastic. So I think, really, what we're going to do is get these humans, and then later down the line, I don't think it's going to be this year, because the roadmap seems to have already been released, and it looks a bit strange, but I think it'll be Chaos Dwarfs next year, and I think it will follow a design that we'll likely also see in Total War Warhammer 3, which is kind of why I thought, well, it's a bit weird that we're not getting any information on Chaos Dwarfs yet. You know, cross-promotion in an effort to sell new models, kind of like what they did with the demons. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Either way, if we look for the unit card, everything looks like what you expect from Chaos Dwarf stuff. Again, it's a bit of a shame that it's a human miniature, but you know, Games Workshop like to make decisions by randomly dropping stuff into a generator, and then there you go. Mind you, this could just be the Ruinator Alpha, which is kind of leading the charge, or maybe it's a basic Ruinator, with the Demolisher being a Chaos Dwarf. Keep in mind that we do have other warbands with Chaos Dwarfs. This is actually real Chaos Dwarfs, little tiny miniatures, you know. So we're going to have to wait until next week, but this is very exciting. Hopefully we'll get some more information soon, and maybe this will teach Games Workshop to possibly work with people with NDAs that follow NDAs, because, my god, do the leaks happen often.